Hey everyone, and welcome to our channel. Today we have a very special surprise and we hope you enjoy it.
I got together with Jessie from
Catalina Treats, gluten-free bakery.
The link is going to be in the description bar and right above here. She sent me over a pumpkin spice latte cookie recipe with cream cheese icing. So we had to get to work. The opposite of gluten-free, because we're going to be using all-purpose flour. As I walk through the recipe, we're just going to start making it together so that you can see how easy and simple it is. So I have 2 cups of all-purpose flour in my bowl here, and I'm going to be adding dark brown sugar. So a quick note, dark brown sugar is going to make your cookie a little more chewy, which I personally love. And the reason why is because there's a bit of molasses in there, so it creates that nice chew. So we're going to be adding that. And then we're also going to be adding all those wonderful spices that you typically find in a pumpkin spice latte. We have cinnamon, we have pumpkin spice, clove, ginger, baking soda, and salt. I'm going to be popping the amounts right up here for us. We also have pumpkin puree. So I don't know about you, but I really like a cookie to be like a cookie. Have that chew to it. Some people like a little crispier, which is fine. You can keep it in the oven a little longer. Pumpkin is 90% water, so all of that moisture going into a cookie batter actually just kind of puffs it up like a cake. But the positive way to counteract that moisture, for this recipe, we needed half a cup of pumpkin puree. So I measured half a cup, right? And then what you're seeing right below here is 2 paper towels that I folded up into 8 sections, put it on a plate, and then inverted the scoop of pumpkin puree onto it. And you can see all of I had a white paper towel, so all of this color that's on the paper towel is actually all the moisture that has been seeping out for about 30 minutes. So if you have the opportunity, you know you're going to be making this batch of delicious pumpkin spice latte cookies, measure it out, invert it on paper towels, and let that moisture just seep out. So now we're done. So we're going to flip it. There we go. We have our pumpkin puree. It would help if I had brought a spoon. Okay, so a spoon. I have a spoon. It is here. All is well. Okay, I'm gonna put my pumpkin puree into here. The best thing I like about Jessie's recipe, so this is hers and I'm really excited to be creating this with her, is that you don't necessarily need a full stand mixer. So I'm going to be using a handheld, and the reason why is because she's not requiring us to cream cold butter and sugar. So that's typically what you do in a cookie recipe. So instead we're going to melt the butter ahead of time. I'm going to use that microwave, and then we're just going to pour it into the ingredients and mix it all up, and we'll go from there. So we have our melted 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, because we already have our salt that we added into the dry ingredients. And then another tip that Jessie had was to add maple syrup. It adds such a great flavor to that pumpkin cookie. So we're adding some maple syrup. We chose sugar-free syrup because we wanted to cut back where we could on the sugar. And then some vanilla extract. Vanilla is so good. It's one of my favorite spices. And then last but not least, because we are saying a pumpkin spice latte cookie, we are going to be using some espresso roast. You can typically find instant espresso in your grocery stores. If you know me, I happen to work for a coffee shop, and I am a true fan of a thing called Via. So it is an instant coffee. This is Italian roast, just half a teaspoon, and we're gonna be adding it. And it's gonna add such a great flavor, pop of flavor to it. And now we're just gonna be mixing this up. You can see everything's all together in the bowl. So we're gonna be mixing it up until it just combines. And a really important part is that if it looks like it's too wet, then just add 1/8 of a cup of all-purpose flour more. So let's see how we do. This smells so good. It smells like a pumpkin pie. It's amazing. So I stopped blending it when it created like crumbs flavor, or it came. So I have prepped 8 cookies, about 2 inches in diameter. You can see that I gave enough room to spread them out, and I'm gonna be popping them in the oven right now, and we're gonna take a peek in about 12 minutes. Pretty excited. And then we're gonna be making cream cheese frosting with some pumpkin spice in it as well, and I'm pretty excited. We'll see you real soon. With 2 minutes left to the clock of baking time, you're gonna want to pull out the cookies and push them down just a little bit so that you can see the crackles. So you can see it's pretty hot right now, but see all the crackles? So they had puffed up, and you're just pushing them down, and we're gonna let them cook off for 2 more minutes. Yum. Huge tip. So I love raw cookie dough. It's the best. Because this recipe does not have any eggs, that means it could be safe to eat raw. The one thing though is that a lot of people don't realize that flour, it is a raw product. So before, timer, warm it up for 30 seconds before using it in the recipe, and then it's safe to eat. So let's check out those cookies and see if they're ready. We have our cookies out of the oven. You can see that I already tasted one. It's really good, really good. I definitely recommend an apron, especially when you're wearing white, like when you're wearing black, like I am. So, I have an itch. Okay. Clean hands. Let's go. We're going to be adding the butter to the cream cheese. So we've got both of our ingredients. Add them together. And at this step, I also like to add the vanilla. All right, so I have it combined. You can see always start on a lower speed, so you don't make a mess. And again, just add a little bit of that powdered sugar right on top of the mixture there. And at this point, I'm also going to add the pumpkin spice. I want to get all that flavor, no matter how much or how little powdered sugar you're going to use, get all that pumpkin spice goodness in there. So we're going to mix it again, low to medium. And every once in a while, you want to scrape down the sides of your bowls. If you don't have a handheld mixer, you can use a KitchenAid. I mean, you can't really see it. We have a link in our description bar. I love my professional KitchenAid mixer. But sometimes I just find that it's easier if it's a small batch of something, like these pumpkin spice latte cookies. It's just easier to use this handheld. So I'm gonna add a little more. Let's do it again. Making sure that it was recording. That would have been bad. I'm gonna kick it up a notch. I'm roll across, see there? I'm gonna kick it up a notch and get it on a higher speed so that it mixes all together. Okay, so right now you can see that it's coming together. Sorry, it's a little hard to see. I love cream cheese frosting. So this is even better because it's going to have that pumpkin flavor added to it. It's looking really good. so good. The aroma of the cream cheese and just everything. I'm gonna take a little bit of that bite of cookie and I'm just gonna dunk it. That way I can really taste test and see if the flavors marry well together. Mmm. Oh my goodness. You guys, you're gonna love this pumpkin spice cookie latte recipe. Wow. Jessie, good recipe. I'm telling you, if you have not already subscribed to this girl, her bakery, gluten-free, but it doesn't mean that it's not flavorful. So even though I used all-purpose flour, and she's gonna be using a gluten-free alternative, the flavor here is outstanding. All right, so we have our pumpkin spice cookies that are cooled down, and we're going to be filling either a pastry bag, or if you're like us or like me, I don't have a pastry bag on hand right now, so any Ziploc bag will do. Sandwich bag for kids' lunches, do it. It's perfect. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open your bag, and I'm going to use my hand as a holder, and I'm gonna fold it down. So I'm gonna demonstrate what I'm doing. So I have a hole, and I'm holding the bag. Now I'm gonna put frosting into this bag, but reserve a little bit, and it's for a trick I'm gonna teach you in a moment. Just gonna get that in there. There we go. You can also use a cup if you're, not very coordinated. Put this into a cup and then scoop it in. I just can't reach it because of the microphone. All right, here we go. Kind of close it up. You don't have to seal it, but what you do want to do is push it down, getting all the air out there. Push it down to the bottom, all the good stuff, so that you have a tip. And you need a scissor, and we're just going to be slicing small tip. You can always cut more. When I say just a little, I'm talking about like a little tiny bit, because you want to be delicate with your decorating, so that'll help you. So we're just gonna snip it off, just a little bit. Hold on. If my scissor will out, it works. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. That reserved cream cheese frosting in a heat-proof bowl. So you're gonna be using, it's really like half a cup worth of the icing. I'm gonna put it in the microwave for 30 seconds. What it's gonna do is gonna melt it, make it more liquidy. We're gonna be able to pour it in the middle and just have a nice smooth coat. If you don't wanna go to that hassle, if you're not a fan of microwaves, totally fine. You could just take the bag and go crazy with it, go all the way in. You could take a cookie and just do a zigzag line. The world is your oyster, or the world is your pumpkin. So there we go, you could do like a little zigzag, that's fun. So the thinner the line, the better. So just not even pushing that hard out of the bag. You're just piping a line all around the edge of the cookie. There we go. Okay. So we have our cream cheese frosting that I just microwaved for about 30 seconds. And if you'd like to make a really flat middle, you could just do this. And then you put it in the refrigerator. I don't know about you, but I love it when there's a bit of a, I don't want to call it crispy, but is it crunchy? Is it crispy? Put it in the comments below. I don't understand what I'm trying to say, but we'll put this in the fridge and then there'll be a little shell, I guess. And then when you bite into it, a little crackle. I don't know. This is totally optional, but if you're a fan of cinnamon, I know that on the top of my pumpkin spice latte, I love to add a little bit of cinnamon, or even better, a little bit of pumpkin spice. So what I'm gonna do is just do a little tiny sprinkle. Oh, that was not a little tiny sprinkle. All right, let's get it together. We can do it. Okay, let's try one of these all together. Ready? Wow. I had to do it. Some of the frosting was on my thumb. This recipe is outstanding. The cookie, you can see that nice chew on the inside. It has such a warm spice, pumpkin coffee flavor. Coffee is not overpowering. And if you're not a coffee fan, you can omit that or use decaf if you're doing decaf caffeinated decaf. But the combination of this pumpkin spice cream cheese frosting and then this pumpkin spice latte cookie, so good. This is hands down probably actually the best pumpkin cookie recipe I've ever tried. Jessie, well done. Cheers to pumpkin season, bringing all the things pumpkin to you guys. If you haven't already checked out Jessie, please check out the link below to her channel, Catalina Gluten-Free Treats and Bakery. And we look forward to continuing to bringing you all new content every Wednesday and Friday on this channel. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell notification. We so appreciate it. He'll be bringing more content next week on Oktoberfest, so don't miss it. Thank you, Jessie, for a great collaboration, and enjoy the cookies. Bye, guys.